to the policies of former presidents. But I stuck to my guns, put all my legal training to work, and thwarted all illegal moves to have me ousted on trumped-up charges. And the final test came when I decided to run for vice president. In December of 2009, when the campaign started, I was enjoying no more than 2% rating in the surveys. My own family doubted it was the wisest move I had ever made. In public, they held their peace, but in private, they were completely merciless, and none of them could be provoked into betting seriously on my chances. But I decided the only answers were determination, perseverance, hard work, and sacrifice, all of which were part of the training in the University of the Philippines College of Law. I covered the cities and countryside like a fine-tooth comb and spoke to everyone who would speak to me. And I then discovered that I had so many cousins I had never met before. Mga kasing itim, mga kasing tanda, at kasing tangkad, all in the grassroots. These were the masses. Like Abraham Lincoln, I realized that the good Lord had made so many men and women like me, and to them I entrusted my faith. In the end, I got their support. My friends, I've shared with you my story not from any vain motive, but simply to remind ourselves of what we can do with determination and courage, even in the poorest and most inauspicious of circumstances. We only need to work hard with integrity and resolve, calling on what we have learned from others and our natural gifts, and keep the fire burning for God, people, and country in our hearts. Even more than what we need to do for each other as alumni, we need to encourage our young law students to take an early interest in civic and political life so that they will not simply quote their law books, but above all, learn to breathe the real meaning of the law with the right spirit. These are challenging times. Despite our best efforts, there seems to be a growing complaint that our system of law enforcement is breaking down, that there are attempts to enact laws that are either superfluous or have little or no constitutional or moral basis, and that there is not enough consistency or finality in the interpretation of our laws. This speaks directly to us as lawyers before it speaks to anybody else. The rule of law remains the ultimate, if not the only answer to all inclinations and addictions to lawlessness, dissidence, disorder, and crime. But society must have a common understanding of what the law means, of what justice means, in order for the rule of law to keep society in fighting shape. For as Roscoe Pound has observed, the ambiguity of the term law that makes it easy to think of the law as only a body of rules of law is quite as much a menace to the legal order on one side as overconfident lay trust in legislation is on another side. We need the law to reaffirm, whenever possible, that which is true about the human person and promotes life, liberty, human dignity, and human being. Law cannot spring from a moral vacuum, nor in any case create it. The lawyer, judge, lawmaker, law enforcer, and plain citizen must recognize that there are certain things that are always right and certain things that are always wrong, and which no positivist parliament or relativist court can or should ignore or change. The moral order is the first building block of the legal order. One does not do away with the other. And just as the absence of law cannot create the rule of law, neither can the reign of law do so. Law becomes suspect the moment it becomes a sheer instrument of power. It must derive its validity and strength from some authentic moral foundation. Thus, in a well-ordered society, the lawyers, judges, legislators, law enforcers, administrators, and plain citizens must always work together. Where the church and the state are separate, even they must work together. As UP College of Law alumni, let us all actively promote that goal. Let us continue to call on the best and the brightest from our colleagues to help in their areas of special competence. A number of them have already signed up. Some simply wanted to help even though they had very little disposable time. Others did not mind giving up their lucrative corporate niches to be able to do something one is not always given the opportunity to do in a lifetime. In my case, they have been a great help in my many complex and overlapping duties as chairman of the Housing and Urban Development Coordinating Council, or HUDC, and 5 other key shelter agencies, presidential advisor on overseas Filipino workers' concerns, chairman emeritus of the Interagency Committee Against Trafficking, head of the Task Force Against Illegal Recruitment, and as a cabinet member. I could always count on them to tell me I am wrong whenever I'm wrong. That is an indispensable and irreplaceable service, though an increasingly rare one in government. And therefore, may I mention some of them. Former Supreme Court Justice Consuelo Inares Santiago, UP Law 62, legal consultant to the Vice President. Attorney Manuel Sanchez, UP Law 67, President, Human Guarantee Corporation. Attorney J.V. Bautista, UP Law 83, Consultant on Political Affairs. Attorney Luis Paredes, UP Law 83, Trustee, Housing and Land Use Regulatory Board. Attorney Darlene Berberabe, UP Law 99, President, Pag-ibig Fund. May I just say, in the case of Attorney Berberabe, she had to give up a high-paying job in a large multinational firm to come on board. Class 99, baka gusto niyong palakpakan si Attorney Berbera. Wherever all our other law alumni may be, I have no doubt that they are all doing well, and that from them will come many of our new leaders, innovators, and possibly game changers. Who knows? The next president of the Philippines may even come from their ranks. Mukhang mayroong gusto maging cabinet member kagad doon. But back to our UP Law, beloved. To shore up and sustain its business of producing great lawyers, I reiterate my commitment to the UP Law Centennial Committee to provide the necessary assistance to help our law graduates prepare for the bar examinations and ultimately raise our overall performance in the annual examinations. We need to work out very carefully the details of this program, but we need to have it now. The UP College of Law cannot afford to play second fiddle to anyone. The teaching of law in the grand manner and the making of great lawyers should begin on the very first day the student enters Malcolm Hall and should be sustained all throughout. They should never be made incompatible with dominating the annual bar examinations. Although performance in the bar examinations is not the ultimate measure of a lawyer's caliber or worth, passing the bar examinations is an absolute requirement, and it is unacceptable that the mortality rate of our examinees should be going up instead of going down. In the same way that I implored the University of the Philippines during the recent alumni homecoming to win at least one game in the UAAP. I make this challenge to please, kung pwede lang, produce bar top-notchers in the coming years. To all of you, thank you very much for this great birthday celebration. Mabuhay po ang UP College of Law. Mabuhay po tayong lahat. Mabuhay po ang mahal nating bansang Pilipinas.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. We would like to request your kind indulgence as Attorney Grace Quevedo-Panagsagan, Dean Danilo Concepcion, UP President Alfredo Pascual, and UP Law Centennial Commission Chairman Senator Edgardo Angara join you on stage. Distinguished guests, fellow alumni, we would like to share something with you. Today is the Vice President's birthday, and he rushed from his own birthday party at the Coconut Palace to be our keynote speaker tonight. For this gracious accommodation and more, we thank you, Mr. Vice President. The class of 1986 would like to present this birthday cake as a simple token of their appreciation for your kind gesture. Thank you, Mr. Vice President, for your inspiring keynote speech, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your birthday. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats as I present your host for tonight's festivities. Please welcome Gwendolyn Pimentel Gana, Marivic Grajeda Smith, and Joel Rufino A. Nunez of Batch 1986.
No, we're not going to sing or dance. Tonight is not going to be an alumni talent show. Tonight is going to be different. As you saw from the start, maybe you noticed that most of the people from Batch 86 are wearing purple. And why is this?
Because we are, Gwen, not only the Centennial class,
Yes, but also
the Golden Jubilee class,
Yes,
because we graduated,
Diamond Jubilee.
oh, Diamond Jubilee class, we graduated during the year of the 75th anniversary of the law
Yes.
school.
And also, the color purple is the color of our profession, right?
Exactly.
And apparently, purple is also the color of
of
100
years. Yes.
So,
okay.
there you have it. Now, my name is Joel.
Marivic Grajeda Smith.
And I'm Gwen Pimentel Gana, and we're here to treat you tonight to a wonderful, wonderful evening. I'm sure you're going to enjoy every moment of it.
Good evening,
evening
to all our friends
friends
and
classmates
UP
and
Law alumni gathered here tonight.
Yes. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, tonight is going to be a celebration like no other. After all, 100 years have passed, and that was a time when George A. Malcolm actually convinced the UP Regents to establish the UP College of Law. And it was headed by the Dean Moorland.
Sherman Moorland, yes, that's right.
From July to October 1911.
And on November 10, 1991, George Arthur Malcolm became the college's first permanent dean. By the way, Dean Malcolm was born on November 5, 1881, so there's another reason for today's celebration.
Yes, Marivic and Joel, no, our college really had an auspicious beginning. From the first 125 graduates of the UP College of Law, we produced a President of the Philippines, a Supreme Court Chief Justice, and a lot of prominent luminaries, legal luminaries, and of course, legislators.
Wow, galing ng memory ni Gwen.
So, fellow graduates of the UP College of Law, let us all applaud this institution that has made its mark not only in our lives, but in the lives of others, in the history of our country, and arguably the world.
Why don't we give ourselves a big, big round of applause? We deserve it, our college deserves it, George A. Malcolm deserves it, this Centennial deserves it.
Congratulations to everyone.
Congratulations
Yes.
to all of us. And also, we'd like to applaud our mentors. Our mentors are seated over to this side of the ballroom. We would like to request all UP Law faculty members present here, whether they're teaching now or they used to teach in the college, to please rise and be acknowledged by students, past and present.
Yay.
Please, to our professors, to our mentors, to our lecturers,
We love you.
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Salamat, Professor Labitag. Tumayo kayo kahit 5 yung natanggap ko sa klase mo.
Ayan, si Dean Karali, naantay ka pa.
Sir, pwede na po umupo. Dean. Ayan. Mamaya na po kayo kakanta din, okay? Okay.
Oh, talaga namang ang yayabang natin, ano?
Oo nga, God forbid that a bomb should fall on the PICC tonight. Malaking kawalan ng mawalan ng mga abogadong taga-UP.
On the other hand, mawawalan din ng mayayabang.
Nako, speaking of kayabangan, alam mo naman tayo, this homecoming is going to be a first of many. Actually, ngayong gabi, we are going to hear from someone who is actually attending this homecoming as his first Dean of the UP College of Law.
He's a virgin dean?
Oh, Gabby, calling. Okay, he's from batch 1983, the 14th Dean of the University of the Philippines College of Law. Let's welcome Danilo L. Concepcion.
Yay! His first homecoming as dean.
Magandang gabi po sa kanilang lahat. Senator Angara, Senator Drilon, Justice Tony Carpio, the President of UP, Centennial Commission members headed by former Chief Justice Davide, Henry Goson, the Vice President, I'm sorry sir, Vice President, the Vice President. Hindi ko na po makita yung ibang members ng Centennial Commission. Good evening to everybody. Welcome to our Centennial Alumni Homecoming. 100 years na po ang UP College of Law. Mantakin ninyo kung gaano kadali maka 100 years ang UP College of Law kaysa maka 100 sa exam ni Professor Araceli Babiera. Thank you for responding to the summons of your alma mater, which I understand was made in the form of a subpoena ad testificandum. It is only fitting because we are all here to testify. Testify to the greatness of this institution and the achievements of its alumni. Para sa mga hindi po nakarating ngayong gabi, we will ask for the issuance of a warrant of arrest and a whole departure order. Kung gusto po nilang ma-recall, pwede po silang sumulat sa Supreme Court. It feels great to be in the presence of compañeros y compañeras. We are proud to be an inclusive community. Iba po kasi talaga ang bonding na nagagawa sa law school. Wika nga, it was where we learned to find beauty and humor in our collective misery. Of course, while learning the law in the grand manner. Kung natatandaan po ninyo, ang ating pong almusal sa umaga ay matinding insulto ng ating mga propesor. Malutong na mura sa hapon ang ating merienda at bangungot po sa gabi ang ating nararanasan. Tonight, we celebrate 100 years of the birth of this grand institution that brought us all together. It is an honor to be a witness to this milestone and to serve as a torchbearer to the tradition started by George Malcolm a century ago. The college has come a long way from the small YMCA class to the national force that it is today. Our esteemed alumni include 4 presidents, 4 vice presidents, 12 Supreme Court Chief Justices, 8 Senate Presidents, 8 Speakers of the House, 111 Senators, and 298 representatives of the lower House of Representatives. No other law school has been as influential in shaping the fortunes of this country. Matagal na panahon din ng isang siglo, the people who planted the seeds of this great institution are no longer with us. but we are partaking of the fruits of what they sowed, and we have become the stewards of its continuing contributions to our society. Chances are, none of us will be there to kick off the celebrations for the second century. Students come and go. Even our dearest professors are immortal, as they may be in our memories, but they have to move on. It is our hope that the grandeur of our law school will endure for the next 100 years and beyond, not just through its buildings or its permanent organizations, faculty, and alumni, but through the unique character of its students. Iba po ang mga estudyante ng College of Law. Alam mo na UP Law ang isang estudyante kapag matapang at may paninindigan. Mukha lamang pong gusgusin at yagit habang estudyante, subalit matapang naman ang paninindigan. Hinasa kasi tayo sa araw-araw na nerbyo sa recitation. Alam po ninyo na ang isang estudyante ay UP Law student kung siya po ay mayabang at medyo bastos. Alam po ninyo, nung ako nag-a-apply ng trabaho, in-interview po ako ni Attorney Fides Cordero Tan. Matapos po akong interviewin, ang sabi niya sa akin, ang yabang mo. Ang sabi ko naman, parang ikaw, mayabang ka rin. I was hired on the spot. Alam mo na UP Law student yan kapag matalino at maabilidad. Kapag nakakasagot, kahit hindi alam ang sagot, pero tama pa rin. Kapag marunong pong magbuklat ng libro gamit ang paa, at marunong magradyo maski po nakatakip ang bibig. Matalas po ang tenga, nadidinig po ang lahat ng bulong. Alam din po natin ang isang estudyante ay law student kung siya po ay may paraan. Wala pong tatalo sa pagiging creative natin. Malilikod po ang ating mga isipan. We hope that as you look back on those exciting recitations, now that you are full-fledged lawyers, you will have a better appreciation of your professors. More than the knowledge of statutes, we wanted you to hone your critical thinking skills and become creative problem solvers. In this age of instant information, a great lawyer will be defined not by rote memorization of legal provisions, but by his or her analytical abilities. To see the possibilities in the law and the creativity to come up with a solution, be it for a private client or for a public institution. Your professors sent you through the meat grinder not because we derive sheer pleasure from making you nervous out of your wits, but because your teachers saw in you a hint of the greatness so described by Holmes. You are the latest link in an unbroken chain, anchored to the pillars of this republic, and you carry with you not only hard-earned lessons and fond memories, but parts of a great institution, its honor, its hopes and aspirations, and its mandate to build finer worlds. To each and every alumnus present here tonight, binabati ko po ang ating paaralan sa kanyang ika-100 taong kaarawan. Alam po ninyo, merong isang trait that separates a UP Law student from the rest. Sa UP po, hindi po tayo masaya kung hindi po tayo nakakontra. Kaya nga po, kung kailan 100 years ang UP, ay may kumokontra pa rin. January 11 ba o earlier, noong pong ang YMCA class ay sinimulan? kung sino po ang unang dean ng College of Law, ay may kumokontra pa rin. Kung si George Malcolm ba o si Justice Moreland. Nakakontra man po tayo, tayong lahat na graduates ng UP College of Law ay magkakaisa sa damdamin, magkakaisa po tayo sa ating adhikain, hindi lamang po para sa ating sarili, para sa ating bayan, tayo po ay para sa ating lahi. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you, Dean Danny, for that. Ito ang gusto ko sa mga Bulakenyo eh. Napakamakata.
Oo nga.
Lumabas na yung pagkabalagtasan niya.
Hirap na hirap akong umintindi kasi Bisaya ako eh.
Pareho raman ta ba? Bisaya gyud
Bisaya
ako.
man gyud ako,
Lagi.
You know, Joel, Gwen, what do you think? Are they having a great dinner so far?
Is your dinner good?
Is it great? Say yes!
Say yes. Yan yun. Yes na
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you're enjoying your dinner, you're in for a further treat. For yet again, we bring you another first.
Yes. And our next